Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy Javante, back with another video. And this video idea came to me one day when, I was just playing with friends. And there's one thing I have to say about this game is it's a very interesting love-hate relationship that I have with it. Even though when I always close the application, I'm always dissatisfied, I'm always mad when I'm done playing the game. But just for some reason, I always come back to it. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about, the state of the game, the state of Modern Warfare, how it's looking right now, and how it's going to look possibly in the future. And even though I only have about, I think, about 2 days and a quarter played on this game, I think that's fairly enough to give my thoughts on the game. So, to start off this video, this video is not to share on Modern Warfare, okay? This video is not just to bash the game completely, right? Because there's good things about this game. So, this video is not, I'm not bashing the game in this video. I'm gonna try to give my most unbiased opinion as I can, because I want to tell the truth about this game, I don't want to be spreading false information, so... But it's going to be going over the pros and cons, and also some features that possibly could be added to the game to make it a lot better. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about in this game is going to be a pro, and it is the weapon customization. I kind of like the direction that they went with the weapon customization, with with the whole categories, and the amount of attachments that you can unlock. You can craft your weapon to design it the way that you want it to be, whether you're like a run and gun person, say if you're a run and gun person, you can maybe focus on ADS or movement speed, stuff like that, or if you're more like a mid to long range player, you can focus more on aiming stability and like recoil and stuff like that. So weapon customization is really nice. And also, if you're a mix between like those two, you can make the weapon how you want it to, whether you want to focus more on a recoil, like for example this AK-47 class that I have right here, I have it more focused on recoil, more than anything. So ADS is a bit slow, and especially for me, since I'm more of a run and gun type of player. ADS is a little slow, but the recoil is pretty good. It's just like vertical. It's just like vertical. There's no sort of horizontal recoil on this class setup that I have. It's just vertical, so it's really good. But yeah, weapon customization really good. Even though I wouldn't say, because leveling up the guns really isn't that hard, especially with tokens. There's happy hour. Sometimes they'll drop the double weapon XP. So leveling up the guns, not really that hard. But there's a lot of levels to the guns, but also a lot more attachments. So you can really craft the gun to your liking. The one thing that I don't like about the The only thing that I don't like about the weapon customization is that a lot of the underbarrels, they're just useless, Of course, you have the commando, you have the merc, you have the ranger operator, but then the other ones, they're just either like they're like mini shotguns, or they have the noob tubes, whatever, and those they're just not good, and that's what most of the attachments are, it's just those underbarrel shotguns and noob tubes, and sometimes there's smoke grenades and stuff. So a lot of that stuff is pretty useless. So when you're leveling up, usually you're able to get the commando and merc foregrip pretty early, which those two are the best underbarrel attachments in the game. But still though, that's just the concept, having those attachments, even though a lot of customization, you can make some really goofy classes, but in a more serious manner though, it doesn't really work. So alright, now going on to a con, we're gonna be talking about map and game design. As you guys guess, so the thing about the game design is that, especially with like something like the camos, for example, where you have to get something like mounted kills, for example, right? Because I've got a decent amount of gun gold, and the mounted kills, they're just so toxic because I don't like mounting. I like to run around. I want to find people, shoot them, run. I'm a run and gun type of person, right? But you have to get these mounted kills, and of course you can't move while you're mounted. So a lot of times when people are mounted, they're going to be camping, and that's the problem with this game, is that the map and game design promotes camping. With the camos, you have to get the mounted kills, and the way that the maps are designed, that's why I said so a lot of these maps, they're really poorly designed because of the way with the game mechanics and stuff, and it's just not well designed. You see a lot of people mounted, they're leaning everywhere, they're camping, back in their spawn, they're camping, up somewhere, high place. It's just really toxic and really bad, for the environment of the game, I'm not really complaining about, campers, because there's always been campers in Call of Duty. In every Call of Duty game, there's always been campers. That's not a game thing. That's a play style, So you can't, blame the game for camping, but you can't blame the game for, promoting it, right? Which is what I said earlier, with the mounted kills and the game design, it promotes a lot of camping, a lot of people being, head glitching spots, or in areas, that was on the high ground. That's kind of hard to shoot up. So, yeah, so, in like other games, when you're doing camo challenges, even though mounting wasn't a thing in some of the older games, a lot of the challenges, they weren't really pertaining to, having to sit in one place, to get kills, especially for like a person like me who put a lot of hours into Black Ops 2, a lot of the, camo challenges, I didn't have to camp for any of them, and it might be like those moments, where you're just like 1 or 2 kills away, from a hard challenge, you don't want to die, everyone does that, that's just a game instinct in COD, a lot of people do that, but like in general, like the challenges, none of them refrain to, doing any sort of, standing still of some sort, and that's what Modern Warfare does. So, and especially with how the maps are designed to allow you to accomplish that feat is what really makes the game worse. Alright, so now I want to talk about the weapons, and I've asked some of my friends, how they feel about the game, and I see, for me, like, especially since I didn't start playing Modern Warfare till around the beginning of Season 3, so I can't really say, for Season 1 or 2, but, I had some friends that played Season 1 and 2, and they say, the game was just filled, with MP5s and M4s, and that's the other thing about the game is weapon imbalances, the thing about weapons in Modern Warfare, a lot of people like to use the same weapons like the M4, MP5, M7, the GRAW, also guns like the Car 98 and the MK2, and there's nothing wrong with using those guns, because I'm not the type of person to say like, oh, well, you can't use this weapon, I was like, you bought the game, you can use whatever weapon you want, that's fine, but when you're speaking level 250, you're using like the M4 every game, it's like, well, like, like, aren't you bored, like, like a person like me, like I like using, different types of weapons, like for example, in those earlier clips, you saw me using the AK. I didn't really use the AK a lot. I didn't really like it at first, but I just needed some attachments, But, at first I wasn't really, feeling it, till I just started using it, right? And I think it's probably one of my favorite guns, besides the UMP, the Striker 45. Other than that, it's one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's just fun to use. You know, the thing about it is like people, you know, they don't want to use different weapons. They don't want variety. They just, you know, want to use the same, you know, overpowered guns, you know, that, you know, barely have any recoil, or, you know, or can, you know, help you win a gunfight, you know, in most scenarios. So, all right, going back to a pro, the crossplay feature is really good. I really like the crossplay feature. You know, a lot of people like the crossplay feature, right? You know, that's not, you know, some, you know, thing that's only special to a few people. You know, a lot of people like it. Some people might not like it and have a different opinion on it, but in my personal opinion, I think, you know, crossplay is really good. I think, you know, crossplay should be implemented in a lot of games, you know. So, you know, I have, you know, some friends who play on Xbox, you know, and with the crossplay ability, you know, I'm able to play with them, you know, which makes it really good. You know, a lot more variety with the lobbies and stuff, you know, even though, you know, PC players, you know, going against console, you know, might be a little unfair, but in all seriousness though, you know, more interactions, you know, you can people from other consoles you can play with, you know, you're not just restricted to, you know, PS4 players, right? You know, with me, you know, I play on PS4, you know, I have people who will play on Xbox, you know, I can play with them on COD, you know, instead of just having to play with PS4 friends, which is really good. All right, now I want to talk about some features that should be implemented in the game, which in my opinion could make the game better. And trust me, this is like no game breaking, you know, recommendations. You know, this is a lot of stuff that, you know, a lot of Call of Duty players want, you know, that were in older games, you know, but they, you know, haven't implemented them in this game at least. So first things first, we want feature mode, not feature mode, theater mode. You know, most Call of Duty players, they want theater mode back, you know. Obviously that was, you know, a really fun way to, you know, you want to replay a match, or, you know, I know a lot of, you know, YouTubers use it, you know, for their videos, you know, get those YouTube kills and stuff like that. So a theater mode was really fun to use. Definitely a feature they should bring back for sure. Another feature that they should bring back is the vote to skip for maps, and also, you know, ability to vote for maps. You know, it was so nice, you know, when you're in the lobby, you know, you have two options for a map, you know, like, oh, you know, everyone loves this map, you know, so you can vote on it, you know. But here you don't get to vote for any maps, you know. They just, you know, throw you whatever map, you know, however the randomizer, you know, however they do it, they just throw you any map, you know, and just kind of, I wouldn't say makes it stale, but, you know, give the players, you know, a little more power, you know, to play, you know, on what maps they want to play on, you know. You know, I also heard some other players, you know, talking about bringing back, you know, the old mini map, bringing back, you know, some old perks from the older games. Not Juggernaut though. That definitely does not need to come back. But yeah, you know, I see a lot of players, you know, want things for older games, you know, that made those older games, you know, really good, you know. When they had those features in those older games, that what really, you know, pushed them over the top, you know. So I think that, you know, a lot of these features should definitely be added, or, you know, or added in the future Call of Duty, right? But anyways, here's my final verdict, you know, on this game. Overall, it's not a bad game, you know, even though, you know, there's a lot of, you know, things that, you know, make it rage-inducing, you know, that makes the game, you know, worse than what it already is. But in hindsight, though, it's really not that bad, you know. I still enjoy playing it from time to time, you know. The toxicity is still there, you know. I love toxicity, especially in COD games, so. But overall, it's not a bad game, you know. There's a lot of aspects of the game that hold it back from being one of the better Call of Duties. But, you know, I can't just straight out say that, you know, it's bad, you know. You know, I still, you know, have time to play on it. I still enjoy. So, yeah, I think definitely not the worst Call of Duty, but definitely not the best for sure, you know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Definitely got more content coming in. I'll see you guys later.